We're going to learn about the Nortel Meridian phone system. And this system was way ahead of its time because it lets you build a multi-site phone system, many carrier remote. Okay. And all you had to do was connect a T1 line. So you put a T1 line coming in and a T1 line at your other facility, and the two of them talk to each other. So somebody could have a Nortel phone in another building and they could call this building just by dialing an extension, or they could check their voicemail here over the T1. So it was basically an internet before we had internet, like could say equivalent to the Cisco phone system. And now cool thing is you had to have, this had an electrostatic wrist strap that you put on your wrist before you touched anything, and this little metal rivet here pulled the static electricity out of you so that you didn't shock these systems. So you could add different cards depending on what you're doing. So we've got here digital stations, so these support digital Nortel handsets. We've got analog message waiting line cards, so this lets us do call waiting or voicemail. And then we've got a mini card which allows us to run the remote system. So you plug all these in, and then down here you have, you see the 25 pair Amphenol connector goes into each card. So you've got as many as we've got. There's 10 here because we've got 10 slots in the system, although not all these are in use. So you buy these, they come with a Amphenol connector that screws into the board. So this is a 25 pair line, because back in the day everybody used 25 pair. And we've also got the serial cable, so we got an option for actually serial, so DB9, so we got 9 port serial here, another 9 port serial, and then a parallel cable. And this went into an adapter, but you could put it into a DSL modem. So this DSL modem lets you run your phone line, your phone system, to another building up to 10 kilometers away. And if you put a modem on the other side of the building, then this turned your whole phone system into a data communication over DSL, over a phone line, and back out on the other side. So you didn't even need to pay a carrier for a T1 line. So you could build a multi-site phone system, and all you had to do was pay for one phone line connection at each site. So they bundled these. So these lines from the Amphenol connectors all turn into these pigtails, which then get punched down on these BIX blocks. So every BIX comb holds 25 pairs of wires, which correspond to whatever input or output we had on the phone system. So we've got 10 here for the 10 different line cards. So some lines handle incoming phone lines, let's say, if there wasn't a PRI, and some lines could handle like outgoing digital stations. And so now this is where it gets messy. So in our building we've got conduits, let's say, that go all over the building, and some are thin and some are thick depending on what they're servicing. And so what we have are individual phone lines. So this would be like a phone line going to a desk, and that gets punched down on the back of this block, let's say, and then they would run a cross connect. So if you wanted to hook up this guy's phone, then you go to the system here, figure out what's the next available pair of wires for that phone, and then you'd run a jumper wire from there to the port that corresponds to that person's wall outlet. So this is a line going to a wall jack somewhere. So I'm connecting my wall jack to my Nortel, just like that, with one of these cross connect wires. And it just, as long as, so we end up with these huge bundles of cross connects, and these can go all over the place. Now sometimes it's not efficient to have a hub and spoke to one room, so they've also run a really fat 25 or 50 pair lines to the second floor and the third floor. And so this is a 50 pair, or maybe it's a 100 pair line, so this could take up 2 or 4 combs. And so this so in upstairs, let's say in the second floor, there's another set of combs with another set of wall jack cables. So if we're cross connecting upstairs, we cross connect from our Nortel to one of our 200 pairs, and this takes the line upstairs, and then from here there'll be another system, and so we cross connect from the tie back to the station, the wall jack. So sometimes you have 3, 4 in a large building. So if you have any questions, please post a comment. Thank you.